One Zambia, one nation. Thank you for joining us and a warm welcome to Zanis News. The headlines. President Hichilema praised for exemplary leadership. Cholera Center at Tiro Stadium closed. Plus, Oriental Paris gets 400,000 kwacha for boxing tournament. I'm Trust Member with Zanis News in detail. Botswana President Mokwetsi Masisi says his country is inspired by the leadership of President Hakainde Hichilema, leading to an agreement with Zambia's official creditors for a debt restructuring program. President Masisi said this in Livingston during the signing ceremony of 10 agreements between Zambia and Botswana. Kalan Muchima now reports.
On the 25th of March, Zambia reached a $3.5 billion agreement with its Eurobond holders, resulting in the country's debt being restructured. Botswana's President Mokwetsi Masisi says this is a landmark achievement for Zambia, heaping the praise on President Hakainde Hichilema's visionary leadership.
Just a few days ago, you struck a deal that changed the whole value proposition of Zambia. But you know, what's important is that it speaks to the ordinary Zambian. It's not about what's in this room. It says to the Zambian child, they have a future. It says to the Zambian child, they have education. They're going to have infrastructure developed. They have healthcare provision. They have security. They have environmental stewardship. They have water. Your Excellency, you have made a remarkable difference. And we wish that this would be unpacked and iterated so that ordinary Zambian understands it. We take it upon ourselves to tell Botswana what you have done for Zambians.
President Hichilema says Zambia should never be allowed to find itself in a situation it got trapped in.
That we, Zambia, decided can pick plants to add on to what little things we're doing. So you're blowing positive words about us, embarrassing, but we shouldn't have been here. That's the message I'm saying. We shouldn't have been in the dead process. To assure you, because terrible never is not good for anyone. We ourselves have put control measures on ourselves. Once we took office, we've gone to Parliament to promulgate a law that no one, including us today, and in the future, unless they go back to certain debt things, can acquire debt recklessly. Can basically acquire debt which is expensive. Can acquire debt number 3. So 1, recklessly, no. 2, expensive debt, no. 3, acquire debt for consumption expense.
President Hichilema says with Zambia's debt now restructured, resources meant for debt servicing will now go towards social sectors and improving the lives of the Zambian people. Kalan Muchima, reporting for Zanis in Livingston.
And Zambia and Botswana have signed 10 memoranda of understanding in various sectors of the two countries' economies. The MOUs are aimed at providing a common framework for cooperating between the two countries in areas of mutual interest. Here is Kalan Muchima again with the details.
Zambia and Botswana enjoy close bilateral ties that are founded on shared values of mutual respect, democracy, good governance and common vision for deepening regional integration. Botswana has also been a key strategic partner and ally to Zambia since the pre-independence era. To cement these relations, Zambia and Botswana have signed 10 key memoranda of understandings aimed at providing a common framework for cooperation between the two nations in areas of mutual interest. Among the 10 MOUs signed include a bilateral agreement establishing the Kazungula Bridge Authority and Addendum No. 2 to sponsor the construction and operations of the bridge infrastructure, an agreement signed by Zambia's Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development Minister Charles Melupi, and Botswana's Minister of Transport and Public Works Eric Molale. Other signed MOUs include an agreement on political consultations, an agreement in the areas of health, agriculture and livestock. Also signed include an agreement on cooperation in the field of geoscience, mining, minerals and value chain development, as well as an agreement between Zambia's Zambia Development Agency ZDA and Botswana's Investment and Trade Center. All the MOUs were signed and witnessed by the two presidents, who have all committed towards ensuring that they are actualized.
The relations between Botswana and Zambia are at a level that has never been experienced before. It's our solemn duty to make sure that not only do we keep them at minimum here, but we enhance them so that by the next we meet, we are reporting progress consistent in manner and scope to the way in which we performed in the two working visits, starting with Kasane and today in Livingston. That will be at a date to be announced in the future in Botswana when we have our inaugural binational commission, which is an engagement across all sectors, co-chaired by the heads of state of the two countries.
Once we sign things we're going to sign today, they are not for paper and filing cabinets. They are for active utilization, implementation, which will help us deepen our cooperation. People to people, yes. Business to business, yes. Economy to economy, country to country, and invariably improve the lives of our citizens in Botswana, our citizens in Zambia. That's the story. I think it's a nice story. And we're very delighted, President Masisi, to have you and your team here. And we would like to influence.
Kalan Muchima, reporting for Zanis in Livingstone.
And Sunday Walia reports that Minister of Transport and Logistics Frank Tayali says the MOUs the country has signed with Botswana will promote bilateral and regional integration. Mr. Tayali said this in an interview on the sidelines of the bilateral meeting in Livingston.
In a bid to accelerate bilateral trade between Botswana and Zambia, 10 memoranda of understanding have been signed between the two countries. The move has excited some cabinet ministers. Minister of Transport and Logistics Frank Tayali said the MOU will boost bilateral trade between the two countries.
About cooperation in terms of enhancing what we are calling the construction of the Kazungula to Livingstone railway line, as well as Kazungula to Mosetsi on the Botswana side. So basically, you will appreciate that the design of the Kazungula bridge was already, incorporated a rail section on that particular bridge. It was envisaged that we should be able then to link Livingstone by rail into Kazungula, and also that's like 65 kilometers, Livingstone to Kazungula, and also 365 kilometers from the Kazungula bridge onto a town in Botswana called Mosetsi. The ultimate goal is really, again, enhancing connectivity. We would like, particularly in the area like the president from Botswana did say, our roads take a lot of stress from heavy goods, particularly trucks.
Of Mines and Minerals Development, Paul Kafue, also highlighted the benefits of the MOUs.
Benchmark, learn best practices, enhance relationships, learn what our colleagues have done, especially in the mining sector with their diamonds, how it has improved their country, their economy, their welfare. And we want to, replicate that back in Zambia. want to replicate, and that's why we have signed these MOUs. They are learning something from us. We are also learning something from them, and we want proper regional integration in terms of mining activities.
Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry, Chipoka Mulenga, explained what the 10 MOUs entail.
We have signed quite a number of memorandum of understanding. This is coming as a result of the working visit that we have in January with the president in Botswana, and the results we are being seen today. We have got the Kazungula border, which has not been maintained but has been invested in a lot of money between the two countries. So finally, we have set up what we are calling the Kazungula Border Authority. Ministry of Infrastructure, Zambia and Infrastructure, Botswana have come to form up this one and to be managed by a number of sectoral ministries. We have agreed to work together as countries. We've agreed to set up the authority to be built in Botswana, but it will be managed by a Zambian CEO.
President Hakainde Hichilema and his Botswana counterpart, Mugwetsi Masisi, witnessed the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding. For Zanis, I'm Sunday Warrior in Livingstone.
Minister of Information and Media Cornelius Mwetwa has expressed concern with misinformation on different platforms regarding the country's $3.5 billion United States dollar debt restructuring deal. Mr. Mwetwa says the agreement is a great milestone for the country, stating that people deserve to know what is included in the deal and how it will benefit them. The minister said this in a speech read on his behalf by Ministry of Information and Media Permanent Secretary Thabo Kawana during the World Vision Media Awards in Lusaka. Sarah Miti filed in this report.
The critical role that the media plays in spreading information and creating awareness in communities on issues of various interests cannot go without notice. This is because the media contributes towards raising different opinions, fostering positive change in society, and influencing decision-making as well as policy formulation. World Vision recognizes this role, and as a way of expressing its appreciation, the organization organized a media award ceremony where 14 deserving journalists in 7 categories were awarded for their tremendous work as partners in creating awareness and spreading information on the work of the World Vision in Zambia. Minister of Information and Media Cornelius Mwetwa, who was represented by Permanent Secretary Thabo Kawana at the award ceremony, shared the government's commitment to creating an enabling environment for the media to thrive.
The government of the Republic of Zambia reached and concluded the debt restructuring with Eurobond holders over the country's $3.5 billion United States dollars it owes. I take this opportunity to call on the media to explain to the people what this means for them and the benefits that accrue from it. Government is committed to creating an environment where media practitioners can thrive, their voices are heard, and their freedoms are protected. I am therefore pleased to announce that our ministry stands in the full support of this endeavor as we recognize the importance of fair and balanced coverage across all spectrums of news beyond just political spheres.
And World Vision Zambia National Director John Hess highlights more on the objectives of the awards.
Today we want to highlight some of those great stories and about the amazing things that are happening here in Zambia in the space of the environment. And so I stand here before you today with a heart full of gratitude and excitement as we come together to celebrate and recognize the unwavering efforts of our friends from the media. And for World Vision Zambia, the media, you are instrumental in amplifying the voices of children and the vulnerable communities that we work with all across our nation. This year's Media Awards themed Empowering Voices, Shaping the Future reflect World Vision's recognition of the media's influential role in shaping society. We at World Vision, we are dedicated to working with media to promote the voices of these children and their stories and their communities in your stories. The media, you are cardinal to World Vision Zambia's strategic goal of contributing to the sustained well-being of 1.5 million children.
Award winners are grateful to the World Vision for recognizing their work.
I'm a nurse by profession, and I'm so glad that I've won today's award. It's not, you don't limit yourself to one thing. So I bet we try different things and get to know what we are good at the moment.
So grateful that World Vision has recognized us, and the majority have been Zanis. Why? Because we serve on the countryside, and it's very difficult on the countryside to serve. But we are there to bring up development. We are there to light. We are there to bring up the voices of the voiceless countryside.
Zanis staff dominated the award ceremony, scooping 50% of all the awards across the various categories. Sarah Miti for Zanis in Lusaka.
The Zambia Union of Government and Allied Workers President Muyawa Kabisa has commended government for reaching an agreement on debt restructuring with bondholders. Speaking at a press briefing in Lusaka, Mr. Kabisa says the deal is a relief, further calling on other stakeholders to support government efforts in order to enhance its capacity in prudent debt management. Mr. Kabisa has also urged government to strengthen measures to improve domestic revenue mobilization through taxation.
The Zambia Union of Government and Allied Workers would like to thank the government of the Republic of Zambia for reaching an agreement on debt restructuring terms with the steering committee of the ad hoc creditors committee of holders of Zambia's Eurobonds. These concessions are necessary given the constraints faced by Zambia and are essential to achieving the relief required under the debt sustainability analysis to restore financial stability to the country and economic recovery. In view of this, the priority should, for Zambia, be investments in energy, mining, and agriculture for domestic and export markets.
More stories still to come after this message. Stay tuned.
How I Made It is a program that delves into the many success stories of different people from all walks of life. Watch How I Made It on Zanis TV every Thursday at 18:30 hours on the Topstar channel, channel 6 DTT and channel 458 DTH. Woman Thou Art is a program that offers counsel to the female folk, sharing real-life experiences and providing guidance to the women and young girls on necessary steps and conducts that will help shape and nurture a sober society. Watch Woman Thou Art on Zanis TV every Wednesday at 18:30 hours on the Topstar channel, channel 6 DTT and channel 458 DTH.
We continue with the news. Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo has announced that the Cholera Center has been moved from the National Hero Stadium to Levi-Mwanawasa Hospital. Ms. Masebo says all cholera-related cases will now be treated at the Levi-Mwanawasa Hospital. More in this report.
Zambia, through the Ministry of Health and cooperating partners, won the battle against the cholera epidemic, although a few cases are being recorded in selected parts of the country. The Ministry of Health has since started demobilizing at the National Hero Stadium, which was the cholera center during the peak of the cholera epidemic. A check by Zanis found the Zambia National Service ZNS officers moving donated items from the warehouse at the cholera center into ZNS trucks. All the items are being transported to Zambia Medicines and Medical Suppliers Agency ZAMSA for safekeeping. Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo announced that the cholera center has now been moved to Levi-Mwanawasa Hospital following the low numbers of cholera cases being recorded in the country.
Goods that have already gone out. Yesterday we had about 6 trucks load full of goods that went to ZAMSA, and this morning again another 6 went. So this is the second round. I think there are about 4 trucks loads again, and if you go inside you still find that we still have a lot of goods. Yeah, so what we have done is we've asked the Ministry of Transport to help us with more trucks, because we don't want to take days to offload these goods into ZAMSA warehouse.
And ZAMSA assured that it has systems in place to ensure that all the donated items are stored safely.
ZAMSA has been operating for a long time now and has established systems and measures that enables us to receive properly and also respond to requests for withdrawal of medicines and medical supplies.
Despite the low numbers of cholera cases being recorded, the Ministry of Health has since urged members of the public not to let down their guard, as cholera has not been completely eradicated. For Zanis, I'm Lakson Makodza.
In other news, the nitrogen chemicals of Zambia has donated hygiene and cleaning materials worth about 15,000 kwacha to the Kafue District Administration Office. Speaking at the handover of the products, NCZ Marketing Personnel Blessings Siafunda said her institution will remain alert in the fight against cholera by ensuring that preventive measures are put in place. Details in this report by Naum Puri.
Nitrogen Chemicals of Zambia, NCZ, has donated cleaning products worth 15,000 kwacha to Kafue District Administration Office. Speaking at the handover of the products, NCZ Marketing Personnel Blessings Siafunda said her institution will remain alert in the fight against cholera by ensuring that preventive measures are put in place. Ms. Siafunda disclosed that through their corporate social responsibility program, NCZ has donated hand washing facilities, water storage buckets, soaps, and chlorine.
That NCZ has donated today, we have hygienic soap, which is liquid soap. We also have boom powder. For most of these are cleaning items. We have sets of mop buckets, which is a mop and a bucket that you use. You don't use your hands to squeeze. The bucket is able to do that. We've also brought storage buckets for water, 30 liters. We also have the bigger ones that are 65 liters and 85, depending on the amount of water that you want to store. So at least this will be able to assist. The company released the 15,000 under CSR. Yes. So these are the items that we have bought from that amount.
Kafue District Commission has thanked stakeholders in Kafue for supplementing the government's effort in rolling development in the area.
Yeah, we would like to thank NCZ for the gesture, for the sanitation material that they've given us. We also would like to extend our gratitude to the other stakeholders that worked with us during the cholera period. But further, we would like to request them that they continue helping us in this drought, where we need food, midday meal, even in forms of maize, anything as food that can help our people.
Reporting, I'm Naum Puri.
In agriculture news, Farmers Development Cooperative Union and Vitalite Zambia are targeting to empower 1.8 million small-scale farmers across the country with smart agriculture solar drip irrigation. FCDU Public Relations Director Susan Mulambia says as a response to the call by the President Hakainde Hichilema for farmers to engage in winter maize growing production, 10,000 farmers will participate in winter maize production. She was speaking at the official launch of the partnership between FDCU and Vitalite Zambia. Rita Silenge has more in this report.
In response to the 2023-2024 drought declaration as a national disaster by the President of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, Farmers Development Cooperative Union FDCU and Vitalite Zambia have officially launched a partnership by signing a memorandum of understanding to help small-scale farmers with smart agriculture, solar drip irrigation, and other solar energy accessories. The partnership is targeting 1.8 million individual small-scale farmers to engage in winter maize growing in order to contribute to the food security of this country.
As a start and direct response to the call by the President, His Excellency Hakainde Hichilema, the partnership through FDCU affiliates We will target 10,000 hectares with 10,000 farmers participating in irrigated winter maize production under the concept of each farmer covering 1 hectare sustainably through the use of solar power and drip irrigation.
Vitalite is extremely proud to announce a partnership with the Farmers Development Cooperative Union, FDCU. Our ambition through this partnership is to accelerate our joint mission to empower all Zambians with our solar energy solutions, and in particular targeting to support smallholder farmers that are deprived access to affordable solar irrigation.
Lusaka Provincial Executive Director and Deputy Provincial Executive Director for Western Province expressed happiness towards this development.
As the Lusaka Province FDCU, we are excited to be part of the solution to mitigating the drought.
I think that my farmers out there, our farmers out there, will take it upon themselves to really get these products which will help them to continue farming, unlike crying all throughout the year.
Product and Innovations Manager Luwosi Chilambo showcased some of Vitalite's items that can help farmers. Rita Silenga reporting for Zanis in Lusaka.
And in Northern Province Permanent Secretary Bernard Mpondo has called on farmers to secure enough maize for household food security in view of the food shortage in some parts of the country due to drought. Mr. Mpondo said this when he opened the first quarter of the Provincial Development Coordinating Committee in Kasama.
Northern Province is among the areas that is expecting to have a good harvest this season. This is due to the favorable rainfall pattern that the province has received. A Northern Province Permanent Secretary, Bernard Mpondo, who officiated at the first quarter Provincial Development Coordinating Committee, PDCC, in Kasama, is calling on farmers in the province to prioritize household food security as they begin to harvest their crops.
The declaration of the current prolonged drought in many parts of the country as a national disaster. This declaration comes under growing concern over the imminent food crisis. Wherever we are, we encourage our people to store enough food to feed their families.
The Permanent Secretary further called on the heads of government departments to ensure they implement all planned activities within the stipulated time.
We must sit top when it comes to budget absorption. Not in December. That's when you start bringing PS. We have got money, this money will go back. This year, if you don't wait now, I do not want to see you asking me to approve your traveling or doing this in December. Let's work together with all the departments. We ensure that we absorb our budgets within time, not in December.
Speaking earlier, Northern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Lewis Mwape highlighted the significance of the meeting.
We are here to interface with one another and see how we are progressing as a province in terms of delivering service to our people.
Reporting in Kasama, this is Gladys Nyirenda.
Big Tree Company has donated 400,000 kwacha Oriental quarries towards the upcoming African Boxing Union tournament scheduled for Saturday next week at Government Complex. Speaking during the press briefing held at Sunset Stadium, Trade Kings Group Public Relations and Corporate Affairs Manager Bridget Kambove says as the sport continues to grow at global level, the firm has identified the potential in boxing promotion as it tries to build its brand in supporting boxing. Kambove says out of the 400,000 kwacha, 350,000 is cash, while 50,000 kwacha will be in the form of logistical material in order to facilitate a successful boxing tournament. Meanwhile, Oriental Quali's boxing promotions manager Christopher Malunga said the tournament cannot go ahead without the platinum sponsorships coming on board and is excited to have Big Tree come on board in sponsoring the upcoming boxing tournament.
To proudly announce, therefore, that this morning, towards the slated for the 6th of April tournament, is a commitment of sponsorship to the tune of 400,000 kwacha.
With the coming on board of Big Tree with such a huge amount, YSLM will be performing at government complex on that day.
That item brings us to the end of our news, but before we go, we have a recap of the stories that made headlines. President Hichilema praised for exemplary leadership. Cholera Center at Euro Stadium closed. Plus, Oriental Paris gets 400,000 kwacha for boxing tournament. Well, that's all we had for you from our news desk. On behalf of the entire Zanis production team, I've been your presenter, Trust Bemba. It's goodbye for now.